y le hacemos en el plano del porche. Yo soy la gabanito dolce, la champaña porque yo la rosé. Que lo brazalete, dice que bailándome un afro ya le mete. Me caleta los juguetes, dice que si no tira la foto que la apriete. Pa' que vea la nalgota, ella sabe que está buena, que ella está bien ricota. Va cubriendo la gota y el traje rojo rota. Una nota que la abuela me lo hace y se enfoca. Después de ti no hay otra. Tengo un plan, dime tú si nos vamos.
This is my first time on the laptop this week, and I still made $11,000 this week, right? I probably spent 3 hours on the charts this week. And sent a couple signals, not a lot, but I sent 2 fire signals, well 3. The third one was good, but it hit stop loss and then it ran. If you use that zone ended up holding. Should have made it a bigger stop loss and a bigger zone. Called out a fire trade the other day and the day before that. Exactly 24 hours apart from each other. 8:41 Tuesday. 24 hours later. 8:40 Wednesday. Look at that. That's a good week right there. I had a good week there, but just this trade hit take profit 4. That was a dinger. If I streamed this week, it would have been a crazy week. I didn't feel like streaming. Had no energy. Broke my ribs. What am I feeling? Back to work. Who cares about me, right? Back to work. Who cares? It's all good. On the plus side, my $2,000 bike got stolen because it couldn't fucking move. What the shit? What just happened to my screen? Why is it doing that? Don't do that. U.S. unemployment falls to the lowest level since October 2021. U.S. unemployment just fell to the lowest level since October of 2021. So it said. Today. Unemployment hit the lowest level since October of 2021. Broke my ribs because I thought I was Tony Hawk. Let's just say. I don't want to talk about it. It was painful. Yeah, gold looking bullish at the moment, obviously. I sent a couple buys this week, missed some trades because I wasn't even on the charts a lot. Missed probably 2 good signals, maybe more. If I was streaming this week, we would have had live analysis on. There was a lot of easy stuff to go with this week. I saw it on my phone. I was just watching my phone the whole week. I took some trades. I sent what I saw when I saw it in the Discord. Hit some take profits. There was a trade yesterday I saw. I saw a good trade in New York yesterday. There was a buy yesterday. Like, yesterday was New York buys. They were clear buys. I should have made the zone like a bit bigger. I saw a lot of you guys ended up taking it after too and still held on to it. There was buys yesterday too, but it ended up going, it went down really quickly and then it ended up wicking up. If I streamed this week, would have had more trades, more scenarios. But you could see I spent limited time on the charts this week. Still had a profitable week. Still helped make people money. Even with limited time on the charts, it's not, I had a couple hours of screen time this week and found some pretty decent trades. If you go, well, not a lot, but decent moves. Gold, I was hoping we would come on and it would go a bit lower. It just hit 75 and reacted. I was hoping we were going to come down a little bit more for a buy. Price is bullish. El Salvador bought $50 million worth of gold reserves. So El Salvador added 50 million, I think, of gold to their reserves. There's a lot of news on gold. U.S. Treasuries, for the first time since like 1996, nations are holding more U.S. or gold than U.S. bonds, U.S. Treasuries, so U.S. debt. There's a good amount of stuff going on. I don't know if you guys saw about El Salvador. They raised their gold. El Salvador. What do you know? Goldman Sachs saying that gold could go to $5,000 now, and this and that. The banks are calling out like $4,000 and $5,000 for gold. Banks is what banks are saying. Goldman Sachs. El Salvador acquired 50 million in gold for the first time since 1990, as their Bitcoin bet continues, diversifying their reserves. El Salvador seeks stability by blending gold and digital assets amid shifting global economic conditions because the tariffs. There's a whole ruling going out right now for the tariffs and stuff. It's all going to court as well. We have like a couple weeks to see what happens with that. I think until like October 14th. Jobs just came out. There could be a big bubble one day that crashes. Maybe Trump's trying to crash the economy real quick, so it could be like a COVID situation. We had that in March with tariffs, kind of. Yeah, this is one thing. This happened like yesterday, the day before, I think. I got my laptop charger. This thing's gonna clean. Oh. Yeah, that's that. That's pretty cool. We got banks calling out some prices due to current economic conditions. Back straight. Goldman Sachs now saying is yet like this is all like yesterday, today's news. You can see this is 9 hours ago. Look at this guy, yo. That's a G right there with the polo hat and the fucking shades. Fucking polo hat on or what? Top G right there. I saw this the other day too. El Salvador relocates Bitcoin reserve into multiple wallets to reduce exposure to quantum attacks. Look at that. They separated it. I think they put all their reserves across 14 wallets or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's the number I think I saw. Goldman Sachs, this is again, you can see 6 hours ago, 1 day ago. Major banks give big endorsement on gold. On loss of Fed independence. Goldman sees upside to 4,000. Goldman price prediction. You can look this stuff up. Investor sentiment shifting towards gold. New record this week. Base case, gold rises to 4,000 per ounce by mid 2026. More aggressive scenarios, price climbs. If just 1% of privately held U.S. bond market holdings shift into gold, more aggressive. For the first time since 1996, we're seeing like more nations hold gold. Or there was a little cross recently that happened. I shared it on my story the other day. I don't know if I put it in the Discord, but might have. I might have, maybe not. Why gold's gone crazy? Well, a few reasons. If you go back, like, if you're wondering why gold, look what I posted beginning of the week, right? I don't know if you guys been keeping up with any of the news. I've barely been. I've been operating like 10% like this week. Like I've barely been on anything, but you know, still managed to swindle in there. I mean, that's one reason gold's freaking going up. More wars going on. You have a whole situation also going on with USA and Venezuela. Like there's economic uncertainty right now. If you go look at what's happening with the USA, Venezuela. Post more, but coming into this week, Russia attacked Ukraine. There's been attacks going on. The war's still going on. It's not stopping. Russia launches massive attack on Ukraine's. I don't even know what that word is. Not even gonna try. Ukraine strikes Russia's oil refineries. Coming into this week on the weekend. This happened on the weekend. So I posted this Monday. I got hurt Sunday, so I didn't even I was like, would have been on it way more this week. Yeah, foreign central banks hold more gold than treasuries for the first time since 1996. It's U.S. debt. So maybe it's a shift, a possible shift, long-term shift signal for gold too. That this type of stuff is happening. El Salvador buying gold. Remember when El Salvador bought Bitcoin? Watch. That's interesting. Seeing some interesting stuff. Yeah, war, uncertainty, tariff. Like, there's just a lot of economic uncertainty. Look what happened today with the job data. This is a signal that the world is losing faith in U.S. debt and moving towards hard assets. Because I wrote something. Gold doesn't rely on politics, promises, or printing presses. It's neutral, trustless. It's been money for thousands of years. So it's not just a technical shift, it's a structural one. Nations are quietly positioning for the long term with gold. Nations are quietly positioning long term for gold. I mean, this guy's not quietly doing it. Look at this guy. Top G, polo hat. So yeah, you got, look at this. Like, if you look into what happened at the beginning, like on Saturday, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, last week, Ukraine, Russia. Go look into what's happening with the whole Venezuela, USA situation. A lot of stuff going on. Then you got, again, Goldman over here. Another story predicting gold could go to 4,000. Base case aggressively. This is why I showed you this. See this? And see what that article said right here. See what it says here. More aggressive. Price climbs to 4,500 or even near 5,000 if just 1% of privately held U.S. bond market holdings shift into gold. Private equities, private bonds, U.S. debt. That 1% of that goes into gold, and gold could go to a very, very high price. But it's already at record prices right now. We're obviously going to be following this trend. There could be a longer trend, but today's Friday. I wouldn't get too crazy with it unless it pulls down to like here. I already just had a nice bounce off of 75. Just made a new all-time high, so it's better to wait for this thing to maybe flush down, come down, or even just next week. Just kick it back next week. Because it's Friday. Enough movement happened this week that you could have had a good week. I didn't even need to trade every day, and I had a good enough week. Enough movement went by this week that it's like you could have had a good week by now. Probably want it to come down though for more buys. Probably just still going to be looking for buys. Now remember, like, I've only been looking for buys this year, and it's like, this is why I just got to stick with the buys. Stick with the buys. Stick with the buys. I've barely sent any sell signals this year. I've barely sent sell signals. Like, this year is just stick with the freaking buys until it's like, what? I swear, see? You go away from the buys for a bit, and then it's like, oh, shit, should have just stuck with the buys. You know? Probably massive uptrend coming. I don't want to get too excited, but next week should be interesting. Probably pullbacks, looking for continuations next week. More upside. Got to get my gold reserves up. I have some silver. I have a good amount of silver and gold. Some silver. I have some silver too. Some coins. Silver's flying high. $41 an ounce. Anyone who's been stacking silver has been smart. I've been stacking silver since 2020. Ever since COVID is when I started stacking silver and gold. I started stacking silver and gold in 2020. I haven't bought any more since like probably like when gold was at like 2,400. I don't know. I probably haven't bought any since like 2023. Just held, held it. Savings, basically. Savings that actually grows. It's real store value. I bought my first gold ounce, so I remember when I bought my first ounce of gold, it was like 1,200 USD down here. I could probably log in and find the order for it or the email. Probably find the email some time ago. Anyone who's been stacking silver is smart. Slowly but surely. That looks like it's going to all-time highs. Probably going to make a new all-time high this, maybe going into 2026 or mid-2026. Silver's flying. We've up one silver broke $30. I told you guys. That's key. Like indicate like once silver got above $30, I told you guys keep an eye on silver. Gold's probably gonna be continuations. Like we got this big pump up. I'm looking for continuations on gold. Right now it's holding that 75, so that's like more like short term aggressive. Maybe I was gonna say coming onto this session, maybe we could get like a pullback and like a bounce, maybe like a quick trade, like a scalp or something. Maybe not that big. Maybe that's like next week. But I was gonna come on and say maybe we get like a pullback after this move for continuations, because we got the big move, retracement, rebalance it a bit. Just took out this high. Just broke the high. To the left there. But I got some interesting stuff going on in the world. Goldman, upload this. Yeah, U.S. unemployment. So, I mean, bad day for dollar and U.S. news in terms of employment rate. Worst levels. So yeah, unemployment or whatever fell to the worst levels or lowest levels since like October 2021. Now, why is that? Like, why is October 2021 important? Well, we gotta remember what happened in like 2020, right? So it's like 2020, we had like a pandemic, right? A disaster, like, we had an economic shutdown, pandemic, and slowly after that, things got worse with things like jobs and unemployment. Now, we're going into maybe like a similar pattern in the sense of like, oh look, unemployment just hit the worst level since like then. But to get to that, like in 2021, to get to those bad levels, it took a lot of news, a lot of stuff that happened from COVID to October 2021, going into 2021, right? So it feels like something similar to me, like how the market's taking it, how the market's perceiving it. It's like, okay, look at what's happened all in the last year, and now we're having this. Soon crypto will have probably like one more mega pump. I feel like maybe in a couple months, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, worst levels, like unemployment, worst levels since 2021. That's interesting to see. U.S. unemployment rises to the highest level since October 2021. So unemployment rose to the highest level since 2021 October. That's interesting to me. 2021, I remember trading, and I remember 2020, 2021, crazy times. And then in a couple weeks, like literally, what day is today? The 5th. Literally in like 12 days, we have the FOMC. Cryptos maybe getting like stocks. How did stocks do today? Stocks. US 30, NAS, let's see. NAS, S&P, all-time high. There's your S&P all-time high, US 30. Trying to go through those highs, pretty much like all-time high, US 30, NAS. Stocks going up, gold going up, Bitcoin chilling, kind of stabilizing, right? Having some green days, pumping up. Bitcoin pumped because of the news today. A little bit of a pump, reclaimed 113K. Decent little pump on crypto today, decent. I think crypto is getting ready for, again, September 17th. September 17th, we have a big event that we all are waiting for. Pretty much the whole market's waiting for it. It's going to be an interesting day, probably an interesting week. That week, 12 days from now, because now I'm pretty sure the odds went up, if I'm not mistaken. A little bit higher. Yesterday it was, yeah, like yesterday this was not, yeah. I remember looking at this yesterday, it was like 96%. The odds of a rate cut went up. 12 days we have. Crypto could do anything in the next 12 days, or it kind of just stays how it's been. Stabilizing, pumping up, pumping down, green days, red days until then. Could stabilize, kind of do what it's been doing. Or it's like anything could happen until that day, and then after that day, maybe we start getting some pumps. We'll talk more about this, like the scenarios that could happen maybe next week or the week after. Like there's different scenarios that could happen, but September 17th is the big day for the market. That's coming, 12 days away. Everything's gonna move that day. Gold will move. Crypto will probably move a lot that day, especially like from how we're seeing price action lately. Stabilizing. Some things are lower. It looks like some accumulations. You have some low prices on a lot of alts. Some things are kind of just like where they've been for some weeks or some months even. Some things have pumped, come back to prices that they were at after they pumped. Like some things have gone up, come back down. So that day, you're probably going to see a lot of movement on crypto, or even following that day, maybe going into October. And a lot of things with Bitcoin's pumps. So if Bitcoin pumps, expect it to pump in a matter of 5 weeks. Expect a 5-week pump. If my trajectory is right, and I think I am, I don't want to be so optimistic, but we'll see. When we had the ETFs come out, shortly after Bitcoin rallied, Bitcoin ETFs, a lot like Bitcoin's pumps are event driven as well. If I'm right, you'll see me take a vacation in November or something. If I'm right, I'll see. I've been right so far up to this point. Anyone who's been following me since like 2-3 years ago, everything's been pretty solid. Even if you've been just following this year. Let's see. I spelled BlackRock wrong. BlackRock, it was the IBIT. And in coming weeks, we have FOMC I'm gonna put rate cuts question mark. Let's put rate cuts question mark. Well, 12 days, you know, after this weekend, like 9 days. Basically, if you understand what I'm saying, this might be your last point to get in before everything goes up, or before everything goes down and then up. Regardless, I think everything will go up. Whether we go down first and then up, or if we just go straight fucking moonshot, blow off top situation. So, if you look at Bitcoin's pumps, we can see when it's pumped. It's very event driven. If you remember, I made a video on this on my YouTube. It was a free video. Everyone should have watched it at the time. Should watch all my crypto videos when I post them. Should watch it. If I post a video, watch it. Alright. I posted a video when this happened. When the I even said it's going to be an eventful year. I posted this video February 3rd when the ETFs came out. When BlackRock, look what I said. Like, look, there's a lot of research. Same thing I've been doing. Same thing I do in these sessions. I named this video "Time is Running Out" because if you understand Bitcoin, you understand. Like, now everyone understands Bitcoin, so like the name of this title is also having some actual understanding behind Bitcoin. Time is running out. Why would someone say time is running out when it comes to something like Bitcoin, right? If you really understand how Bitcoin works over time, if you understand how it works over time, it's only going to get more expensive over time, and there's going to be less of it. It's deflationary over time, right? So less of it starts to come out over time as the supply, as we get to that supply cap. If you like, the name of this title is for a reason, because there was something that was happening with Bitcoin at that time. I even said we would go to like $50,000. Like, if you go on that stream, like I even said we're gonna come up to 50 and then we're gonna crash, and that literally happened. That was when the Bitcoin ETFs came out. I made a video February 3rd. February 3rd was right here. Before I made that video, I was talking wherever I was, whoever was watching me, wherever I was, that's all I was talking about. All right, at the time when the ETFs came out. Okay, Bitcoin went up. Bitcoin had this pump. 52 days. It went up 52 days. So, a couple months there. Not even 2 months. When Trump won the elections, so November 4th was the USA presidential elections. Donald Trump won on that night. Bitcoin rallied for 45 days. You could even say 78 days there, kind of. I would say 45 days. I would say 40 days, 45 days. Tariffs, trade wars, stock market, crash, extreme fear. If you remember in April, if you experienced April, the first week, if you experienced the first and partially going into the second week of April, you experienced some mayhem in the market in that first week of April, second week of April, if you remember. Now, back in April, if anybody was on the live streams with me, I was saying I haven't experienced anything like this since COVID. So back in March, back in April, I was saying I have not experienced anything, any market, any feeling, any sentiment, any feeling. I haven't felt like this since COVID, right? So we talked about that, where the market was. So the market was in a very interesting place back in March, April. It was in a place that it hasn't been or felt like since COVID-19 happened. We talked about that a lot on streams, right? Trade wars. Remember when Trump came out with his big board? If anybody remembers, does anybody remember when Trump came out with the big board for the tariffs, and it had a name of every single country on it listed? Maybe there was a few not on there, but it was pretty much every single country on that board, right? That was back in April. The market rallied because that created so much uncertainty. Nobody really knew what was going to go on. Market rallied 43 days. You can see the pumps here. Yeah, gold's where it's at. Like, I'm not trading gold. I sent some buys this week. I wanted this, if anything. Like I said, 33.57 held. I said you could have, any of the buys I've sent in the last 2 weeks could have been like break even. I'm long on Ethereum. I'm long on I'm long on XRP. I'm long on Ethereum. I'm long on Dog with Hat. I'm long on crypto again. I'm probably going to hold for like 30, 40 days, maybe 50 days. We'll see. Trying to make a couple six figures, maybe more. Let's see. Trying to make $385,000 in the next 30 to 45 days. Yeah, we'll see. See how that goes. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I'm heavy long on ETH, heavy long on XRP, heavy long on WIF. I don't have stock. Like, I'm not gonna share my positions because like it's my personal trades. I share trades with you guys like in my Discord that, you know, if my crypto trades I don't really share. It's different. Like, I don't have liquidation prices and I'm trading with probably 50 times more money than you guys are trading with. So it's different. Like, I'm trading with $500,000. So, I mean, I can't really tell you 1-2% because I'm not risking 1-2%, right? So it's different. But I'll tell you what. I'm long on ETH. I'm long on XRP. I'm long on WIF. That's, you know, it's different. It's different, you know. Like one position's $180,000 position, so it's just like, it's like those trades personally, they're personal, and I like to keep them personal for me because it's like I don't want anyone to deal with the same. Like, I might hold them for 50 days, 40 days. At that point, it's survival too, right? At that point, like, it's also surviving. I don't want to put people in that situation, right? I know how to not get liquidated, but maybe you guys don't. You guys don't have that's. Some of you guys might not have the experience. Like, I have 11 years experience, so it's different. That's anxiety, that's stress, you know, like I gotta watch those positions every other day. I don't even look at them. Dog with Hat, I have on Dog with Hat alone, I have right now, long on Dog with Hat, 144,000 WIF on 10x leverage in the 80s. On another account, have 280,000 Dog with Hat long, 10x leverage in the 80s. So I'll say that, like, I'm buying in these prices. I've been buying in these prices. XRP, A little bit in XRP. I'm long on XRP. I have a big position on XRP. I have a pretty fat position on Ethereum right now that I started entering last night. And that's a pretty decent size, but it's not as big as I want it to be yet. Ethereum's still holding above 4,000. But Bitcoin, back to this real quick, because we have 12 days here until potentially the next pump begins. I mean, look at today's price action. Nice price action we're seeing today with Bitcoin. Decent. Some green days. Now, if we look at the last pumps, they've all been more event driven to me. When I look back at price now, and I consider when the BlackRock, IBIT ETFs, all the Bitcoin ETFs started rolling out, that was here. That was here. That was in January of 2024. It actually made price go up. And then there was this crash and everybody started freaking out. So many people were bearish on that move. I have friends in crypto that were calling out market crashes back to 25,000, 20,000 a coin on that dip. I remember this. I know people that were saying Bitcoin is going to die here. Like, it is going to crash. It is going to zero. It's done. I know crypto people that have been in crypto for years, longer than all of you. I know where the market was. People were saying Bitcoin is dead here. Like, it's going to crash. There was a lot of rotation, but Bitcoin went up. You can see the pump it did. It only took 50 days to have that pump. When Trump won, it only took 44 days to have that pump. So 50 days to have that pump, 44 days to have that pump. That week, it was like between April 7th and April 11th. That week where things were crazy. Between April 7th and April 11th. Where the stock market, it was like 1 trillion added to the stock market, 1 trillion lost, 1.5 trillion added. It was like crazy days back and forth between like April 5th, 6th, like that week until April 11th. Bitcoin went up in 45 days. It had its pump in 45 days. So like, if we're going to get a pump and when it starts, like we could go up to like 118 and still come down and then still get the same pump. Like the pump, that's the thing. It could happen in 45 days. It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to start September 17th. If you're looking for that last pump on Bitcoin, 45-day pump, 50-day pump, it doesn't have to start on September 17th. Imagine if price went to 118,000 a coin, and then it came down, and then it pumped. It still would have the same pump. It's about the day. Like the days are, there's enough time for 45 days to give you a pump. Yeah, like leverage. There's a reason I don't teach a lot of leverage yet, because like a lot of you guys need more. Like a lot of you guys need to focus on your first lanes first. Like leverage trading, you need experience. Like I think you need experience. Like you need to be a good trader. You need to be a confident trader, and you need to have some skin in the game too. Like that's why I don't teach a lot of leverage. I've made a lot of money off of leverage, but I've also liquidated myself once last year for $50,000 in one position. So like you gotta know yourself, you gotta know the market. Like the thing about investors is we also look at, like, when we're investing in something, we also look at the downside too, of like, okay, I'm buying here, but if price goes down, what can I do? What can happen, right? we always take into the consideration like the downside too. Yeah, I'm bullish. I'm always buying bullish, bullish, but I take into consideration where prices could go as well. Leverage, you don't want to go all in at one price either. Like there's a lot to learn about leverage in the market, timing things too. World Liberty. A lot of people ask me about World Liberty. I bought some. I have some, a little bit. I don't know how many. I think I bought like 15,000 coins. Nothing crazy. I'll hold it. It's one of those see what happens type of thing for me. Gold's about to hit 3,600. Why? Well, look at today's news. The news is everything today. It's the news. It's this. US dollar just had some really bad news. Worse, like I said, it's it's the highest level since 2021. So the market, you can see how the market's reacting to that. It held 30. I didn't trust 35.75. I was like, it's too shallow. It's too shallow for me. It did perfectly, literally off the high, 35.75, 75 level, quarter level, perfectly. Damn. I would have if this came down, I would have said let's buy. I would have taken a buy live or called it out. That's why I jumped on. I was hoping once I saw this move, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this can come down, but it's one of those situations. Next week we're probably bullish still. Like next week we're probably gonna be bullish. Crazy. But this is what I think this started. This and the whole, if you look into Trump's tariffs, it's going to like a court ruling. Like this shit's going to court because saying like some of his stuff is like illegal. This started gold's kind of like sparked this week. Seasonality as well. This was like yesterday, September 5th. Like this is like today, literally. Yesterday. I wonder where gold's gonna go this year in the next, maybe by 2026. Do we hit $4,000 by 2026? What's more likely, 3,000 by 2020? Like where do you think you're gonna be at by the end of the year? Closer to 4,000 or closer to 3,000? What do you think? Here's $3,000. We've been above $3,000 ever since we got above 3,000. We have $4,000 pretty far away, but we know the way gold moves. Look what it did this week. It's already in the 36s, pretty much. 3,600 right here, about to get tapped pretty much from the looks of it. So where are we closer to right now? Do you think we're gonna go close? Do you bet on gold going closer to 4,000, or do you bet on it going closer to 3,000? Ever since it got above 3,000, it stayed above 3,000. 3,100, 3,200. Some of those lower, like 3,100, held perfectly, literally. Now we're above 3,500, which is a good little half number. We're above $3,500. Oh man, I said break and retest above 3,500. Look for it. We're above 3,500. Price could maybe even stay above 3,500. Next week will be interesting. We'll probably be looking for buys next week, but we need retracements first. Next week will be an interesting week. Maybe we get above 3,600 next week and we break and retest 3,600, or some pullbacks, like pullbacks, retracements next week. Even one of these would be perfect. One of these moves down, a bearish move down, like retracement would be good. We may be able to break above, if it has enough momentum, it could break above 3,600 and try to retest 3,600. Wow, yeah, 37, yeah. 75 just held. Man, we could have had a trade there, but I hesitated on that. 75 level. Even next week we could maybe get a pullback to that level just on a higher time frame now. Like the 5-minute did its action on there, 15 a bit. So maybe it's like the 1 hour gives us a good pullback next week, or the 4 hour gives us a good pullback next week. going into next week. This is crazy. 3 weeks. I think this person's been in inner circle for a while. This person, 3 weeks, flipped $200 to $3,000. Yeah, you can read it. This is a good. That's it's a good flip. One of the best flip ever. This time I don't want to stop it. You don't want to stop it. I hope those are good flips to take withdrawals on. I just saw this morning. Trading small at least. Okay, trading small on there. Let me see. Let's see. From August 17th till September 5th. Hopefully they're still in buys and they didn't take sells. Yeah, right there, $200. You can see right there, literally. Damn. Oh yeah, what's the big? I'm looking at the. Oh, there's a big one. That's a pretty fire result. You can literally see right there. Deposit, withdraw. Can't withdraw on a demo account. Swap is positive because that's interesting. Positive swap fees. That means usually when a swap's positive, that's like the direction the market wants to go holding. Like that's interesting. I haven't been holding trades that long to get swap fees. If I held trades that long, I'd be up, man. The longest trade I held was TP4 on that gold. That's crazy result. I saw this morning. This though, some big dick shit right here. $3,000 to, you can see the numbers. Deposit, withdraw, profit, swap, commission, balance. that's called Conto stand. They withdrew. You gotta I'm happy they withdrew because that's a. I mean, when you do a result like that, like you could chill for a bit. You have room. You could keep a little bit in your account, and it's like you did enough. Some people make $20,000 a year, you know. So like that's the thing in trading. You can have a season where it's like boom, you do enough in 1 month. Trading's not all about even day trading every day or being on the charts every day. You could have one good month that makes up 4 months of what you're used to working for, or a year of what you're working for. Like, what if you make 20 grand in a month, but you're used to working a year to make 20 grand, or a year to make 30 grand, whatever it is. You make $20,000 one month, boom. You just bought time. You just bought time essentially. It's not about even always trying to go for more and more and more and more and more at times, because in trading you're gonna have good seasons, you're gonna have bad seasons, just like life. In regular life, you go through life and you have times where you're up, you're down, you're happy, you're sad, right? Maybe you're at peace, maybe you're content, maybe you're not, but life gives you phases, right? Where you have phases that go good, where everything's just going picture perfect, you're feeling good, and then, you know, life hits you, right? Trading can be like that too, where you might have good seasons where you're just on it, where every trade's working, or maybe the market moves a certain way that you just understand it to a criteria, to a full thing, that you capitalize on what's in front of you. Look at what the market did this week. Yes, it's always new month, new opportunities, right? But let's be real, the market doesn't always move like it just moved in the last week. This week could have made your month, your year, your couple months, right? Like the market, I wrote the other day, the best trading opportunities don't even show up every day. They come in moments like this, where there's a week that moves like this, there's a month that moves like this. You might have to wait months to get a week like this, or months to get weeks like this, where the market's just trending up, trending, and you're going with it, right? A lot of you guys just witness what happens when momentum shows up. You either recognize it or you ride it. new month, new opportunities, like I say, but let's be real, not every month gives you moves like this. So that's why you got to stay in the game, wait for your shot, and execute once things are there. Trading is not even all about trading every day, trading every week, trading every month. If you can have a good season, if you can have a good month, a good 2 months, you might put yourself in the position where you make someone's yearly income that month. I used to make 28,000 Canadian dollars a year, working 60 hours a week, right? So I can relate to maybe some of that. This person made, I think that's in euros too. I think we're talking euros here as well, maybe. So when you get to skill set, like this person flipped 3,000. You can see their profit. I'm doing it. This person don't even need the giveaway, man. Like I'm doing the giveaway. I already sent away. Oh, I wonder if they got it. Did they message me back? I already sent to one person some Solana. Where was it? There was a crazy testimonial yesterday. This one, look at this. Where is it? Read this. So I sent some Solana to this person. Let's see, Giuseppe. Read this for example. 3 days ago, a close friend of mine came to me in tears. He was urgent need of money due to a very difficult personal situation. He refused to accept any loan or gift, so the only option was to trade. He handed me a tiny account, 40 euros. Thanks to the scalping techniques on Xauusd I learned from you, something I had never truly mastered in years of trading, I was able to flip it to 500 euros. Go give some of that Solana to your friend, alright? If you're on here. Yeah, bro, I was looking for the best, this one kind of hit me, so I gave Solana to this person, Giuseppe. This one kind of hit me. I was like, yo, that's pretty deep. That one went pretty deep on there. Still a fire result too, though. Like $100. You can see 100 euros to 500 euros. Fire result. That's 5x the account, 4x the account. Still a pretty fire result. Yeah, I don't like this guy. Where you at? I don't know if you need the Solana, man. You're I don't know if you need. You're up 21,000 euros. Hopefully, yeah, you withdrew. So when you do flips, that's the thing. Like flips like this could happen in a week, a couple weeks. It's good to withdraw. Take that profit, not get ahead of yourself. Reset, restart. Sometimes go back because you gotta consider. Like, imagine if you started with $10,000 or $5,000 or something like. Go back to 2K, go back to 1K and see if you can take 1K, run it up again, maybe go in with lighter risk. Don't work too fast, but that's a good result. Yeah, I just saw some of these when I woke up. This one, fire, 200 to 3,000. That's pretty fire. Crazy stuff. Yeah, gold, like, it's probably, like, it could grind up still for the day. Like, at this point, it's kind of like you're scalping it. I don't really send scalp signals, unless we're, like, live. It's easier to when we're live. Signals I send usually have, like, kind of like a good move, decent move I'm usually looking for. Like, pullbacks, continuations, but more for next week, to be honest. Like, we want to see where we can come next week. We moved from this low, so even like, let's take this out. Even next week, like retracement back to the high, or even down into the low more. Bounce off the low. Next week will be interesting. We'll wait for retracements next week, see what the market can give us. Yeah, Bitcoin, like I said, until September 17th, like it'll have green days, red days. I feel like it's gonna do what it's done, what it's kind of just been doing the last couple days or so, weeks. Like, but the next big event, like the last big thing that happened, like crazy, like to the market was like back in like April, and then like Trump winning. It looks pretty on point. So rate cuts, do we pump after rate cuts? As long as I'm like Bitcoin's still holding 100 and 105. So that's good. We're still above like 100 and 105. We got 12 days until this event. This will move the market a lot. Next pump. If it happens, like when it starts, like that's the thing. Like if you look at previous pumps, like they go like 40, 45, 50 days average. Trump media announces today closed purchase agreement, CRO. Trump media announced today. Some crypto news. I just got this email. Crypto news. Trump media, crypto.com, closed purchase agreement today, just announced today. Yeah, they're gonna buy anything. CRO might pump. Interesting stuff there. Ethereum's looking good. I like it. It's just like sideways. Stability, back and forth. There's a bunch of Bitcoin and Ethereum options that expired today too. For Ethereum, it's like we're making this like sideways. Like we're above a key level, and it looks like to me like we're above that $4,000. So it looks like to me we're trying to maintain that. Like there's demand now here. Like there's demand to stay above here. There's more demand being seen at even at these prices. We have higher prices, but the good thing is we're seeing a good amount of demand at these prices. We're still above here, which is good on a technical point. Like on a technical, when we're looking at the charts just on a technical point of view, it's good. We're above here. We're staying above here now for some days, going on to about a month. In a couple of days, we'll be above $4,000 now. In a couple of days for a month. So that's pretty good. Price has some stability above here though, like sideways, kind of ranging to me out. Like, are we forming a pattern that we're trying to eventually break out of? That's sort of what I'm seeing, like on a technical point of view. Like how the price is. It's more sideways above $4,000. Again, nothing's gonna really go up until September 17th or after that. September 17th doesn't mean the market's gonna explode and go up. It could, but it could be even after that where things start to go back up. right now there's a lot of money that is being weighted to go into Ethereum, like staking wise. So Ethereum, I gotta find it. Maybe I can find it. I might have to bring it on another session. I'll probably have to show on another session. Right now, there's... Here, I found it. I think there's a big buildup happening on ETH. Just finding it out here. This is interesting. Seeing these types of numbers. These are the types of things I like to see. This is interesting. There's a lot of money too. There's a lot of like locked value on Ethereum right now, like total value locked, total locked value. And there's a lot of money being weighted to stake on Ethereum too. I'm basically following Tom Lee's strategy. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing, my opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm following what he's doing. I follow what Michael Saylor did. That played out. Now I'm gonna just go super bullish on ETH and just try to fucking just stick to that horse for a bit too. I'm gonna follow what Tom Lee's doing. I'm not buying. I'm not trading gold today. I had a good week with gold. I'm chilling. Chill week. I'm not buying gold. It could bounce. Like I could do some live analysis, but I'm not trying to trade it right now. I'll do live analysis, but signals I'll send in the chat, guys. Like I don't like doing live trading anymore because it just throws my personal trading off. Like personally, like if I see a trade, I'll always call one out, but depends on what the market is. Like I call my signals out, but live analysis, like I won't tell. Like on live sessions, I'll do analysis and stuff, but I'm just more about signals. Like if I see something that I really like live, I'll say, yo, I'm taking this, or oh, this is a good trade, or oh, there's a signal here. But not every session I'm just gonna come on and say, yo, here's a trade, guys, buy. Like it's not trading. Like for me, like it just messes with my own personal trading, and like I just want to be, I want to be profitable on my own too, you know. Like so, it's just like trying to help everybody be profitable at the same time is like, you know. So like it buys, like you might like it. You gotta at some point trust your own analysis and see what you see and take action. Like there's probably gonna be like I can look at the chart from any perspective and be like, yeah, there's probably gonna be a bounce here, but do I care? No. I don't care to catch every move and know what the market's going to do every time because I'm so good at that. Like I can look at my phone all day and read price, and it takes me 5 seconds to look at the chart and be like, yeah, there'll probably be a bounce here. Yeah, this will probably happen. I don't care about catching every move or knowing like every buy or every sell, every little reaction personally. Like it just like makes too much screen time for me, like too much trading time. Like I can look at price like I looked at price down here and I was probably like, yeah, it'll probably react and go up, there's probably going to be a bounce here. I didn't care enough to want to focus on it because I've had a good week. Gold's moved enough, like I said. Like you gotta at some point like go for what scalping is just trusting price for what's in front of you. Like 35.86, yeah, you might have a buy there. I'm not gonna say yeah it's like a definite buy because I say that with every trade I send. Like every trade I send is not always definite. Yeah, you might get like a reaction there if the bulls are gonna continue. Like if bullish is gonna continue, you'll get a reaction there. If not, you gotta look at where it could go to. Like I always look at like, okay, where's price? It could react here possibly. Yes. What if it doesn't? Where's it gonna go to? Is there another trade available even if it doesn't react here? I don't really see another trade after this. Like if there is a bounce here, it could possibly bounce, maybe go up, maybe give you just a slight reaction, but I'm not calling out anything on this stream. That's like a maybe for me. Like when gold's moving like this, you have to understand scalping 101. Scalping is good to understand the key level, like the key levels, but I don't. It's easy for me to look at the chart and be like, price is probably gonna do this, but I don't always care for every move. I trade mainly on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So if you're looking at a 5 minute, then you're looking at a 5 minute, and your 5 minute might give you a reaction there. If your 5 minute doesn't react, then your 5 minute doesn't react. Like you gotta, it's up, like that trade, maybe. Like, I don't know, not for me. I only scalp on my own. Like I don't like scalping live. Like it's just too much. Like I'm a 4 hour trader. I'm a 1 hour trader, but I do a lot of scalping on my own. Scalping is how I trade like a lot of just on my own. I don't like looking for trades like these live because it's like there could literally be another trade shortly after. So if you understand scalping, it's like scalping is like there's a much higher, like the reason I don't send scalping signals is because we'd be taking more wins and more losses. Like it's about the hit rate. So with scalping, you got to understand your hit rate. Because like scalping trades can fail, but there can be another one shortly after. Like if you're a scalper, you're going to be prone to taking losses in your days through your week. Whereas like the last like 10 signals I sent, there was one loss. But I send my signals based on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. So like we took one stop loss in the last like I don't know how many signals. Everything's been pretty much on point. There's been one stop loss over the last like 10 trades. So personally for me, that's how I like to trade. I like to keep the losses minimal. That's why I don't do as much live trading with scalping style or signals of scalping, because there would be more losses. It's like a maybe, like that's a scalping setup. Like it's what time frame you define the setup on too. Like for me, that's a pure scalping setup. You maybe get like a reaction here if the market rejects. It would be for me like if gold's gonna keep bullish, that last final push up. It's like a break and retest on the 5 minute. If it were to like hold here, this area maybe could give you rejection. It's a good way to analyze the chart if you're scalping the market, not sitting here looking for this like swing, but maybe there's a bounce that gives you some pips in this area. I could see, yeah, why you said 86. I think it was what, 35, 86 someone said. Yeah, around that area could possibly bounce, right? You could possibly get like a bounce. I wouldn't say like a huge move because of time of the day, gold's moved a lot. You could maybe like even 35.80, 35.85 area. I know you said 35.86, maybe 35.85, 35.80 area. If you're like, if this is like a 1 hour time frame, I'd be like, yo, this is possibly setting up. If this right here was like a 1 hour or a 4 hour, I'd be like, okay, maybe there's a setup here. If this is a 1 hour chart, if this is a 1 hour chart or a 30 minute or a higher time frame, I'd love this more so. But let's just pretend if this chart was a 30 minute or a 1 hour, it'd be a different situation. It's a 5 minute, so you might just get one candle that spikes up, gives you a little bounce, scalping momentum in and out. Like it might just be a bounce, literally with the area that it's in. That's the thing about scalping. Scalping can be seconds to minutes, like where if the candle reacts, that gives you like confluence. Like let's say you buy, let's say you buy in this area, and then you get a good reaction. It's like, okay, I might hold this for one more candle. Whereas like some trades you get in and the market doesn't do too much. Whereas let's say the market gives you, let's say you buy and the market gives you a good reaction. Based on the reaction, it could be like, do I hold this for one more 5-minute candle and see if it goes up one more time? Then you literally have like a scalping trade. Well, like it's a scalping area, like with where price is, it's like you'd have to even wait for a little bit here for rejection. Like if this is a 1 hour, like see this 15-minute, right now I'm on the 15-minute. If this is the 1 hour, I would like this more. Like I'm on the 15-minute right now. If this is a 1 hour time frame, I would like this more. Like how the 15-minute looks, but if it looked like this on the 1 hour, or if how the 5-minute looks, if this is on a 1 hour, 30-minute, to me, it's not my favorite. Like it's like, to me, it would be like a deeper retracement, like down next week type of thing. Kind of like what I said when I got on. Because setups like this sometimes, like scalping gold could literally sometimes be one candle that gives you a reaction, and it's like, okay, I'm out. Because you said 86, and now you see this thing's closer to 80 now, right? One thing too is this has like red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle. You could always even wait for a green candle to appear. Like maybe the market gives you a small green candle in this zone, and that is what you say, okay, now I'll buy. If it gives you, let's say, like a smaller green candle, that'll be better to buy. That'll be a better reason to buy if you were actually looking for a buy than just buying at the price or buying just at the zone. To me, it's like, if it was a higher time frame, I'd be maybe more interested like than in that. I saw someone said 86 in the chat. Maybe I talked you out of it for a couple of minutes and you didn't buy at 86. maybe I talked you out of it, because it's like, for me it's Friday too. 4 hour might flip. If the 4 hour flips bearish, it could drop. Retracement next week. Remember, like, where would I want to buy? I'll show you places I would want to buy based on the 4 hour. 3,500. This area right here. It's pretty much got skimmed. Here, I would want to be a buyer if price got into that area, which is far away, which it's where I would want to buy. So if price is obligated to go there, I have to be patient until I see somewhere else I want to buy, right? If I want to buy there, maybe price can go there. I can't control if it goes there or not, but I have to be patient for the market to go there, right? Like, or I want to buy down here. Here's where I would want to personally buy. One of these areas. What do I gotta do? I just gotta wait and see if it goes to one of these areas. In the meantime, I can look for something else, right? I don't have to overestimate everything. I spent, guys, this week I spent 3 hours on my charts. So you hit 35.80. So you said 86. 86 might have been early, like, because you're looking at the highs there. You got to look at volume too. Like volume's here. Like this moved up from here. It has resistance here. Yeah, that's where your eyes go, but you got to also look inside, like where the move started. So like you could, like, for the person that was asking about a buy at here, like, I see why you might be looking for a buy, but you have this whole area. If you notice before, I shaded this whole area up. Wasn't just marking this high. Like you were marking 86 there, maybe because the high, right? Maybe resistance there, break and retest, right? It's still giving you what you're seeing. Like it might still give you that what you were seeing. We also got to look at like where these moves start from. Like the market came up to a high. It's not always about looking at these resistance spots. It's about looking at, okay, here's the high that the market made. Where did the volume start? Like where does the volume begin? The volume begins here. Not here at resistance, not here at resistance. So like even you said 86. 86 is early. Even now you have closer to a better confirmation to buy, like, because you're getting a green candle. If you were gonna buy at 86, you're better off waiting for a green candle to close lower than that price. See, now you could be buying at 82 or 83 or 80. Possibly on a rejection candle, a lower price. Like in this type of situation, you have red candle, red candle. You have a green candle possibly forming. The next candle could possibly spike up and go above 86. And then that would maybe be your trade. 86 may be too early, but not wrong in the sense of why you're looking at it. Like, you see that you're probably looking at these highs here. The volume start, you gotta kind of see where the volume starts. Like there's internal and external volume, internal, external movements and structure and price. Like here is where this move starts. Now the market's coming back into like where it started. It would be maybe like this candle has 1 minute left on it. Like yeah. You said 85, like that would have been 85 what you were looking at. Maybe 80 you could see was better. With gold, I'll tomorrow in the inner circle I'll do a scalping 101 session. And I'll show you, you could take a lot of entries on gold in the day, but some of them you have to be quick and you can't be emotional to them all. You have to be willing to let go of some. Cuz let's say you said 86, so you should have said 85 instead of 86. Let's say you were going to buy off of 85 and you bought when it hit the price. It didn't react, but you could see 80 reacted. Most prices are going to react on gold. I'll show you guys tomorrow. We'll do a good training in the inner circle. We have Saturday call tomorrow, 12:30. We'll be on tomorrow in inner circle. Most prices are going to react. Now you have a green candle, so it's like this candle is likely to push up or give some momentum up. You have red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, green candle, bullish close. Now it's like this candle is more likely to go up. You could have, like, there's a point where a candle might show you its direction. Like that candle, when it had like 1 minute and 7 seconds left on it. So it was a 5-minute candle, but when there was 1 minute and 7 seconds left on it, it looked like it was going to close bullish. Right? 85, so you would have been wanting to buy off at 85, not 86. 85, not a bad buy, but it didn't work. It didn't work for a time being, and that's the thing with gold. It might not work quickly. So imagine you take a buy. This is where scalping, you have to get ready. If you're going to be a scalper with gold, you have to be ready for trades not to work, but it to find the next price and do exactly what it did. You were looking at like 85. So, for instance, 85 didn't work, but it went to 80. With gold, you have, like, this is scalping gold right here. Literally. Like, you might see a price that doesn't work. Quickly, it might not work, too, at times. And now, you can see the next price works. This is where it can go into the topic of, like, recovery setups. Like, you could have the idea of taking one trade, and it's either going to win or lose. You could be prepared for it to be a loser, but there be a recovery setup. A lot of times with gold, it can be quickly when you're looking at, if you're looking every $5, it's quick a lot of times. Now, this is a good size on the 5-minute. The problem you guys have is you let 1 or 2 candles pull back and you get in. That's the problem most of you guys have. I see your guys' charts a lot of time. You don't wait for actual retracements or pullbacks, a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys will have one single candle come down and you're like, I'm getting in, I gotta get in, it's pulling back, oh my gosh. That's a lot of you guys' problem. You're not actually letting the market go down and give retracement for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour. You're getting in on a singular candle. A lot of you guys do that, and that's why you struggle with entries and then you watch the market go up shortly after. Is because you might just be getting in way too early and not giving the market some breathing room like you should. It takes time. Like, you gotta sometimes let the market pull back a decent amount, like on a more than, yeah, you know, the market can always move and go, but you want more of, like, look at this pullback. Some of you guys, the market will pump, and that first candle that comes out, you're like, oh my god, I gotta get in. I gotta get in, I gotta get in, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Like, some of you guys, the market will literally pump up, or like, literally, like, some of you guys will watch the market pump up and get in the first candle on the pullback. If you're gonna trade like that, you gotta understand what comes with it, like what you're buying. Because yeah, you can get continuations, but you gotta understand, like, it can go down. I gotta, you know, there's different ways to trade, but you got, like, investors, hedge funds, like hedge funds trade, like, they know their risk and their upside. Like, they trade their risk too. Like, you gotta kind of know where you are on the charts too, and know, okay, the market could go down from here, but that's not a bad thing. It still could be a buy. If you're gonna force yourself to get in early, you gotta know the downside too, and not get too emotional. Because this is like a decent pullback right here. It's not just like 1-2 candles. Yes, gold can work off of 1-2 candles, but it's good to wait for decent pullbacks, at least. That literally, see, like, that spiked up, just took out a bunch of stop losses because it's trying to take out these lows to the left. See these lows to the left here? It's literally trying to take these out. That could be gold scalping for you. Like, literally, it could react quickly, go down. That's why I was scalping. Like, I don't always send scalping signals because it's like, I could send a scalp, like a trade, and it's like, boom, it could spike into profit, and then it just goes down. Like, literally what just happened. If I bought there, if I said, guys, buy, we would have went into profit, and then we'd be right now, unless we closed quickly. If you look at like every $5 on gold, you'll see a lot of reactions, but not every price reacts. You have to be prepared sometimes for that, like, next price. Yeah, gold came off at 33.50 this morning. Do we come back to 33.50 next week? Maybe. It's at 75 again. What do you know? You could practice getting in and out at different prices just to see how price reacts. Like, 80 reacted, 75 just... So, like, look, down the way here, 85 didn't react. 80 reacted, now 75 reacted. If you're quick to it, if you have that quick... Like, here's the thing, not everyone has, like, quick personalities, energy like that. If you're quick to getting in at prices, you could maybe be, like... Some people are different. Some people have high energy, speed, quickness, you know, different personality, right? So you could get like these quick reactions on gold a lot of times that could turn into swings, but it's better to scalp them and take them for what they are in the moments, because you'll get so many of these reactions on gold. Big moves, like decent moves come on like the 4 hour, 1 hour. Like the signals I send, I'm usually finding those based off of like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, maybe some market timing as well. I would, like, this is more my style right here, like looking outer, seeing a bigger thing, and kind of line up on a higher time frame as well. Because like on the 30 minute, it's one candle. So it's like, okay, how much can the 5 minute react? 15 minutes pulling back a bit. Yeah, like look at the area gold's in. You know, if it doesn't hold this area, basically, we know it's just gonna keep going down. And next week we'll probably just be looking at it. It's better to wait. Like, I'm gonna wait for next week. I had a good week. Like, this could be some perspective, but think about the time of the day too, guys. It's 10:42. How much can gold move up for the rest of the day? Could be limited to how much more movement it does. Maybe we buy Bitcoin instead. Maybe Bitcoin buy. Maybe Bitcoin buy. I would love to take a gold buy, but it's like, it's just like, from my experience, I understand how much it moved this week. There were so many buys this week. It's that same area. Like, not much has changed from what I said 5 minutes ago. Like, you're in a similar area, just a bit lower. Nothing tells me right now that it's like, yo, we gotta buy right now. Like, it's aggressive. You're scalping it. You're seeing maybe the market gives you one more move up. If you're looking at the market right now, like, I gotta find a trade. Your week's not gonna get made today. I'll tell you that much. You won't make your week today from the rest of like, you could have by now, but you won't make your week like fully today unless this thing actually really rips up. Like, Fridays aren't always gonna make your week. To me, like I said, I probably would have called a signal in the Discord already if I wanted to get in buys. I probably would have called something. I watch this area, like, I'll watch this for like 30 more minutes, but nah, I'm probably not gonna take a trade here. Wait for next week, Monday. You have 75, 80. Like, I'm not saying it can't hold. Like, the analysis is there. It could possibly hold and maybe give you a reaction. The 15-minute just closed. Bullish consolidation there. 30 minutes, getting ready to close in 15 minutes. Maybe I'll watch it for a bit. Maybe there's a buy here, but no, I'm gonna... If anything, I'll put it in the Discord. Bitcoin might be a buy more than... Bitcoin's pulling back. That might be a buy, actually. And this... Bitcoin back at 100 in the 110s. Bitcoin could possibly come out of this area. Look at this area Bitcoin's in. Bitcoin looks like a buy. Gold probably reacting off of that area. Yeah, see. I'm just not... I haven't been on... This is my first time opening up my laptop this week, guys. I have not been on the charts this week, so I'm just... I sent my signals, took my trades... Pretty much finished my trading week yesterday. I have like, I'm holding one buy from yesterday. Like, I'm holding a trade from, I'm holding trades from yesterday that I took at 35.40, 35.42, 35.45 area. So I'm just holding some trades. I'm not really looking for new positions. But you could see like what happened there at least. Like, maybe you got like 75's holding. Yeah, 75's holding there on gold. Could have took a buy there. Yeah, I took out those lows. It looks like it's going to pull back into the zone again and probably react and hold the zone. Maybe on the 30-minute. Bitcoin looks like a buy. Setting up in this like area on the 4-hour. Bitcoin looks like it's setting up soon. Gold, little reaction there. Could have took a trade, but chilling. But you could see this. That's what I like to look at. I know someone was looking at like here. If you look out, remember you have this too, so you can see how price came a bit into that. So I like the quarters. I always say the quarters are reliable. You don't even have to look at all the $5 and $10 all the time. The quarters are pretty reliable. 75, you could see how I had a nice reaction off that 75. 75 would have been the good price. Like I said, I'm just doing live analysis, education. This is my first day on the charts this week. Well, on the laptop. I haven't even opened my laptop this whole week. Just like one time. Like with the time of the day, I can't say gold's going to push up till the end of the day. Like I was saying before, bounces will probably happen. That's about it. Bitcoin looks like a buy, maybe setting up. I'm going to wrap it up for the day though, guys. Nothing really more to go over here. We're going to get back on next week. Next week, we're going to see what the markets are doing. 75's holding. 80. Might try to hold that area. That's all I see. Like if I'm gonna see anything for gold, like if I'm gonna see anything, it's again like that. Like I was saying before, it did respect that zone. Could push up, maybe bounce a bit more, but looks like it's holding 35.80, 35.75. If it goes down more, if it doesn't, like I said before, like if it doesn't hold that, then it's gonna go down more. But there's not really another trade to look for after that. With the time remaining in the day, it would be more for next week. Like it may come down back to the 80, 75 area and give you maybe a better reaction if you're looking for one back up. Or like the same move it literally just did. 75 would have been good. Should have did it. Should have pulled the trigger. Like usual. That's all. Like I said before, if it doesn't hold this area, then you probably go down a bit more. It is bullish because a lot of stuff going on economically, and then today's news, highest since 2021, so highest level of employment since October 2021. So that's also causing gold to go up today on the news. Bam. I wish it did come down a lot lower. Like the signal I wanted would have been like maybe in the 60s, a bit lower. It ended up holding 75 perfectly though. When I got on, I even said 75's holding. You might see 80, 75 hold again, and pretty much like a similar move like just happened could happen again. I'm going to wrap it up for the day though, guys. Tomorrow, I'll be on the inner circle. If you're inside my inner circle, yeah, we're going to wrap it up, guys, for the day. It's going to be it for the day here. I'm not really looking for any trades. I'll be looking for trades next week. I sent some signals this week. We'll see what next week brings us. If anything, Bitcoin buys right now or in this area, like literally, like maybe even right now, setting up, maybe on the 4 hour. Just had a big dip, coming back to this area on the 4 hour chart. Nice little area here. That down candle, the red candle here, went up into a new high. High, higher high, could possibly bounce out of here. Yeah, it might be Bitcoin buys from the looks of it. Gold's already going up. I miss gold. Like, gold. Like I said, there's nothing more to analyze about gold, guys. Like, we could sit here. It's gonna say the same thing. You know, this is. I'm not trading gold right now. Could have traded it. Missed a buy. Like, I can also recognize when I missed a buy. If it comes back, maybe there's a buy. Like, I'm bullish on gold. I'm just not trading right now. I just woke up, hopped on. First session of the week for me. Broke my ribs. Had a good week though. Called out a trade the other day, literally 300 pip TP. Got hit. This one went down and then ended up going up. I'm still holding these positions. That's the thing. I'm still in these trades. I've just been holding things. Once weeks like this, you got to recognize weeks like this, and weeks like this will come when there's momentum in the market. You got to just learn how to ride with it. You might not be able to recognize weeks like this when they're there, but over time, you will see more weeks like this where the market presents opportunities and moves a certain way. Yeah, 75 held. Could have bought. Could have, should have, would have. If anything, Bitcoin buys. Maybe loading up. Could react. Could go up from here. Basically where price is at. And that area, like, looks like buys setting up on Bitcoin. In this area. Like where we're at. Could have took gold. You can see how that 80, 75 held. That zone. Bam. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'll be on next week though. Missed the buys there on gold. See? It's where that volume, I was saying the volume, where the volume came in. There was a good lesson there. Bitcoin's probably buys. Bitcoin buys loading up. Probably a buy setting up here. Ethereum, just with crypto, it's like I'm a crypto holder. I don't trade crypto all the time, so it's not like I trade crypto like I trade gold. Like I'm a seasoned trader. I'm not like a day. I wouldn't call myself a day trader. I could be a day. I could swing. I could scalp. I'm a seasoned trader. I could. I don't need like I could take time off and come back. Like I'm more seasoned with the market. All right. I'm a seasoned trader. Look into it. It might take time to understand what that means too, like experience. But like I'm a crypto holder, so I don't like everyday price action. It's like it's gonna be up, it's gonna be down. We talked about Ethereum, like September 17th is a big day for the market. I don't know how the market's gonna move until then. I'm just holding everything, adding to my positions, adding to my portfolio, accumulating what I can before the market goes up again. That's all I'm doing. Like I'm adding to my positions, accumulating what I can. Do I care about what price I'm buying at? No, I personally don't. If you're gonna ask me, like I'll buy at any price. That's how I do things. Do you have to do things like that? No. You can navigate the market differently, but I'm aggressive. So I get $1. The moment I get $1, it's going into assets. Like I'd rather leave my bank account empty than and have more assets personally. So with Ethereum, I'm just buying ETH. I'm buying. I'm accumulating whatever I can. Whatever price I can get it. Whatever price it's at. Don't really care. September 17th is the rate cuts. From now until then, price could do anything. Price could crash. Price could stay how it's been for the last 30 days. It could come down. To me, it doesn't really matter what price does. Even if it comes down a lot, I'll still be bullish long term. Like, to me, I'm just watching ETH right now. It's above $4,000. And I'm just holding it. Just a holder. I'm adding, like I said, I'm adding to my positions. I'm accumulating ETH. Even if it keeps going down. I'm going to say the same thing. It's above $4,000 right now. So, on a technical, that's good. Maybe we stay above 4K. And we're good. That would be beautiful. I can't control the market, but I follow the market. I'm just a holder. Me, holder. I'm a holder. So like I'm not predicting what ETH's gonna necessarily do, like what price it's gonna go. No, there's no signals, but we could come down to 4,000, still go up. Even if we just stay above, what if we might not even come back down to 4,000? We might just stay above 4,000 and maybe just hover above that price. But right now, like on a technical, it's pretty clear with ETH. Like we want it to stay above these highs. Doesn't mean it has to. We want it to. Doesn't mean it has to. But you have 12 days until the biggest like event this year happens, like with the rate cuts. So who knows what happens after September 12th? Between now and or September 17th. Between now and September 17th, anything could happen. This thing could crash, and then it could recover. Anything could happen with crypto until September 17th. Like anything. Market could dump. Market could sell off and then go back up the final 2 weeks of September into October. It doesn't just have to go up September 17th, but from now until then, nothing really matters. Honestly, like if price pumps, woohoo! September 17th is the date you kind of got to wait for till it's like, okay, let's see where the trajectory of the market is going. From now until then, it's like anything could happen, and it's like doesn't really matter to me because I'm more focused on what happens after September 17th, October, November. I'm more worried about that. I'm not really worried about, oh, does price go down to 3,500, 3,700? If it does, I'll buy more. I'll keep buying if it goes down to those prices. I'll accumulate what I can, or, you know, stake some more probably. But from now until it's the 17th, it's like the market could crash. Basically what I said in the beginning of the session, like Bitcoin could do what it's been doing. It could have green days, it could have red days, it could have red days, it could have green days. It could crash. It doesn't really matter to me. What matters more is like what happens after September 17th. What happens after those dates? That's what matters more to me. And what happens on September 17th is also important. Because if they don't cut the rates, get ready for a bloodbath. If they don't cut the rates, be prepared for a fucking bloodbath on the streets, alright? Like, be prepared for a bloodbath if they don't cut the rates. Not to scare you, but you gotta be prepared for everything in investing. If you don't know every side, then you're gonna be shocked when things happen. You're gonna be like, oh my god, why did this happen? You're gonna be freaking out. So be prepared. If they don't cut rates, be prepared for a complete bloodbath. Alright? Like a complete slaughter on the streets. Like, if they don't cut the rates, then it's fucking, like I said, bloodbath. Like, wrecked. If they do cut the rates, it could pump. But I know the markets. If they do cut the rates, it could still drop short term. Not a bloodbath, but it could still short term drop and then go up after the rate cuts. It's just, I'm not trying to sit here and go like, where does price, like, does price come down to here and then go up? It could, like at some point, it's very easy for me to see where like price could come to here. If you know your technicals, it's like pretty easy to see where ETH's at. Like, you're above the $4,000 threshold, which is a level of force. Like, you have all this, right? Could possibly stay above that. Like, you have this whole area you could possibly stay above. They could possibly hold some demand above here. The market's not just going to shoot up right now. It's going to take until after September 17th to do that. We have, what, 12 days? There'll be a day it pumps inside of that. There'll be a day it dumps. Like I said, it's going to be green and red days. You're going to see green and red days. Green days, red, kind of like what we've been seeing. We've been seeing some green days. We've been seeing some red days. You know, a little bit up, a little bit of down. We need the weekly to close bullish. Then we could start talking good. Maybe this is like a structure shift in price. Looks clean on the 4 hour. Bitcoin looks pretty clean on the 4 hour. 1 hour might be lining up here. Looks like a buy to me still. But yeah, like, it's interesting. Like, Ethereum just tapped out around, like, it's almost hit 4,500 there. Back down. But look what it's doing. Like, it's not going up. It's not going down. It's going sideways above $4,000. This is build-up. This is possibly build-up happening. Like, it's just more sideways here. So depending on how the market really stays in the next 12 days, or let's say 3 weeks, realistically, like, can we hold this? And if the market can stay with stability, then I see a breakout coming. But I know the market, and I know anything could happen in the next 12 days. So do I feel like that's the highest probability scenario? No, maybe we go lower. I feel like we could go lower. Sometimes feelings don't always mix, though. Usually when I'm like we could go lower, it doesn't go lower. You know that? It ends up going higher. Usually when I'm like it's going higher. Like this could be a breakout pattern forming. Like if this stabilize, like if for the next 12 days we don't have anything crazy happening, like we're holding above 4K, and I'm starting to see like a pattern here develop. Like something's developing. Like this had a nice little breakout here. See? I had it on my chart before. Pretty sure. I had it on my chart before. Unfortunately, I took it off. Yeah, gold maybe looking to touch 3,600. I mean, if it does, it does. It's 11 a.m. on a Friday. Caught some moves this week. I'm chilling. I mean, that would have been a buy, you know, on gold. I literally had buys on gold, guys. I called it a buy. Like, let's not forget about last Friday's buy too, guys. Like, I literally gave you guys a buy on last Friday. What traders were buying gold last Friday? Let's not forget, guys, about. I literally gave you guys a buy at 34.10, 34.07 last Friday. Let's not forget. I made some good money on that. Since then, since last week, like this week, I'm up $11,000. Since last week, I'm up almost over 20. I gotta do the math. Like just on the signals, just on signals I sent. Like I made 11,000 this week on just the signals I send. I've just been sending signals. You guys don't have to ask me for. I'm up. Let's not forget about last week's buy, guys. I literally called out this buy last week. Alright? Some of you guys forget some of the things I do too. I'm here. Let's not forget. I literally called a buy this week at 34.75. I literally called a buy this week at 34.75. That was down here. I was in here. I think I literally called a buy right here. Or sorry. It was at 8:40 in the morning. Literally right here. Wait. Yep. The day before that, I called it a buy. Like, the day, or wait, that would be the day after. Help. There we go. 35.45, 35.40 area. I was literally in like here. I was literally in here. I've called out buys. I called it a buy in here. I called it a buy in here. I called it a buy last Friday. Like, where was that? Where was last Friday's move? Here. I called it a buy literally. Oh, wait. Way down here. Sorry. Down here. I can't even find it at this point. Yeah, here it is. They called it a buy last Friday here. Like, every trade I've called out, you go back. I put my TPs, but if you held, like, some of them could have been held. A lot of them could be held. Let's not forget, fam. Like, literally, like, the buy I called last Friday was fucking fire. Like, everyone was scared to trade gold last Friday. I literally had a trade full on. Like, let's not forget about that trade, alright? I literally called a buy at 34.10, 34.07 area, stop loss 3400 on August 29th, Friday. I even gave you guys a video about it that was on point. I even made a video. Let's not forget about those trades. This buy 30, like all of these hit take profit. I don't see. I'm not like all of you guys that look for like. I might take like 2 trades a week is good enough to be a profitable trader. Like you don't need 10 trades a week, 20 trades a week, guys. Like you could take 2 to 3 trades a week and be profitable in the markets, and then go live your life and do everything else outside your life. Like profitability, like those of you guys in the group, go look at the signals I've sent. I started the account with $100,000. I'm at $198,000 from these signals. I'm up $98,000 on the account just from these signals. Go look at every single one. Go like, we probably have like 11 or 12 losses now. Even the ones that lose end up going in our direction. If they lose, it's like, oh wow, I lost and then it went into profit. On these signals, I literally have doubled an account, a 6-figure account, from 100K to 198K this week. Not in 1 week, but throughout the time. This week it got to 198K. If I don't send a signal, it's probably because I'm not taking a trade, guys. Like, that's the thing. Like, when you trade on the 4-hour, what you guys should do is pretend, like, just limit yourself to the 4-hour 1 week, so you could only look at the 4-hour. Some of you guys might not even need to be looking at the 1 minute. Like, I trade as if the only time frame I really have access to is the 4-hour. Like, imagine if I could only look at the 4-hour time frame. Imagine if that was the only time frame I had access and availability to. I couldn't look at any other time frame. Then I'd just be trading based on what I see based on the 4-hour, and that would only be so many setups, right? It wouldn't be a setup every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, every day, If I could only look at the 4-hour, let's just pretend I could only look at the 4-hour. That's the only time frame I had access to. There wouldn't be a trade every hour. There wouldn't be a scalp. There would just be what's there, what's on the 4-hour, right? What you can see. And if something is on the 4-hour, if something's there on the 4-hour, it's probably going to be cleared. Right? You're probably going to have some levelness of clarity, or maybe more concrete than going to a 5-minute and looking for your analysis, right? Might not be. Or there's a difference between trading styles. If I'm trading just on a 5-minute, there's way more frequency. There's a higher hit rate. I have to be different with risk to reward, or my risk in general. I can't be risking 20% based if I'm trading off the 5-minute all the time. Because if I'm risking 20% and I lose, the next trade could be there shortly after. So that, like, you could easily be down 40%. So if I'm trading off the 4-hour, I can risk more because the way the time frame sets up. It's more concrete, maybe a bit more stability, maybe a bit more clear. But imagine if that was the only thing you had access to, right? And it would be a different view. You'd have one view of the chart. You would have one perspective of, okay, this is what I see, right? Like, a lot of people were freaking out when gold retraced, but there's nothing to really freak out about there. The 4-hour was dropping. Market almost came to 3,500. It pretty much hit 3,510, right? And it gave you a 4-hour rejection, right? I was gonna send a signal on this candle. I hesitated. Hesitation got to me. And it's just a simple thing. I was like, oh, there's a 4-hour rejection here. Let me send a signal. There's a buy here, right? If you could only look at the 4-hour time frame, you're probably only gonna take 2 to 3 trades a week, maybe 3 to 5 some weeks. like learn the 4 hour. It's all you really need. Even like there's some good setups on this 4 hour chart. A couple of good ones. Even for sells, like sells. There's a sell here. It didn't stick. There's another sell here. It worked. There's a sell here. It didn't work. There's a sell here. It worked. Like even for the sells. Remember I teach you guys higher highs, market structure. Bam. Right? Not all of them work. Maybe we're getting a sell if the 4 hour closes bearish. Yeah, less is more because like you gotta understand like some people aren't like I'm on one trade I could make 10 to 20 grand on one trade, right? So I'm not looking for trades all the time. I'm not always putting that risk down. That would be frequent. If I'm putting that risk down every minute or every hour, every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, that's a lot, right? Not over here risking $10, $15, $20,000 of exposed risk per day, right? Maybe $5,000, maybe $3,000 to $5,000, maybe $5,000 to $10,000, depending on how I'm feeling, but not all the time, right? Maybe a couple times a week to try to get results like this. Or trades like this. I have different perspectives, like scalping. I haven't been scalping as much. But yo, I knew I said I was gonna wrap it up already, but I got into TED Talk. Yeah. Next year there'll be $50,000 trades. You'll see. Light trades, some light trades. But y'all, I'm out. I'll see everybody tomorrow. If you're in the inner circle, we'll be live in inner circle tomorrow. All right. Inner circle tomorrow, but we'll be back next week. Peace, 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 peace.